Well, hello, happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to our Success Power Hour Friday lives, where we're coming to you just truly to inspire and have conversations on various topics, but from special people we call certified life coaches. So they're all certified life coaches from the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs. And I am Master Coach LaKendra Smalley. That's what they call me here in this world. And I'm the founder and CEO of the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs, where we certify, train, and develop coaches, teaching them how to maximize in their gifts, talents, and purpose, and be unapologetic about it. Be free about it, and truly just find a in-depth love in what they want to do for the rest of their life. Right. So we have professional adults coming in here all the time, transitioning from great professions, but wanting to have more time with their family, and really just dive deeper into things that they've always wanted to do all of their life. And now they possibly are in a position to do that, or they are stepping out on faith and being radical about now taking ownership and action in their own life. So that's who we are as life coaches. And I'm so excited that we are all here. We are streaming a little bit differently now. So building up our YouTube page. So make sure you follow us at bit.ly.follow-jice, and that's B as in boy, it.ly/follow Jice, Gice, which we will be streaming. If you are on the broadcast right now, all I ask you to do is to say hello. I mean, it's just like entering into any type of establishment and you're like, hey y'all, how you doing? I have arrived, right? So even though a lot of us have pivoted to virtual performance and presentations, we can still show up as human as possible to still give us that interaction, that feeling of human connection, which is so important in the world today, and as the world continues to expand and grow. So if you are on here and you're tuning in, I ask that you share this out. Hello, Coach Adam. How are you? Yes, Coach Adam has shown up. Coach Adam, if you don't mind, if you can share this in our brand ambassador. He is one of our brand ambassador coaches. Share that in our messenger so we can get everybody else in here, and tag at least 2 or 3 of your entrepreneur besties or people that you just love, because you know that this is going to be a good broadcast. Because we have an amazing coach who is going to be joining us very shortly, and we're going to get ready to meet her. But until we do that, let me do something really, really quickly. I am going to be back in actually 30 seconds. I don't think I've ever done this. This is the 3rd week of doing this. I've never done this before, but I want to go ahead and step away for about 30 seconds so I can make sure this is streaming everywhere, because I just got a couple of messages saying that a couple of our streaming platforms have been broken. And so I will be right back with you. See, I told y'all see how that quick 30 seconds was? I mean, I was off and now I am back on. So those of you who are jumping in, thank you for jumping in. You have now entered our Success Power Hour with myself, Master Coach LaKendra Smalley, and we're getting ready to bring on our certified life coach of the hour. So make sure you grab you some snacks. If this is happy hour time for you, a nice beverage ain't never hurt nobody, y'all, right? And if a nice beverage, the one I'm talking about, is not your preference, just go grab you a cup of tea or some H2O, because that's what our bodies really, really need. But I'm going to go ahead and get into this real good bio of Coach Mariah. Coach Mariah is one of our newest coaches, but she has finally found her niche. You know, I think she has finally found her flow of what makes her feel sexy, and that is helping and serving others, right? And so she's already doing such a phenomenal job of building out her own coaching practice and being really consistent and hosting her own lives on her page. So when she gets on here, we'll be able to talk a little bit about that more, so you can get to know her on a personal level, because that's the beautiful thing about a life coach versus, you know, going to see a therapist or going to see a counselor, because, you know, a life coach will meet you where you are. I love that my coaches are mobile. I love that a lot of my coaches meet their clients in their comfortable spaces, and then you build such a bonded relationship with one another, because I just feel that when you have that connection with someone, when trust can be established at a faster rate, then you can get right to business. Like, you can, whatever it is that you are trying to journey to, you can get there faster without all of the roadblocks of, oh my gosh, building trust. And how long is that going to take? Typically about, 90 days, y'all. It takes about 90 days. But with a coach, where, you do have your appointments where you have to, have the appointment, but then you have that little fluff, right? It's a little fluff area that we give our clients. Like, right before I got on this live, one of my clients texted me and she was just like, hey, I just found out that my boyfriend is about to get deployed. I am freaking out. What do I need to do? What do I need to do, Master Coach? And I just sent her some quick words of inspiration and told her I'll get back to her a little bit later today. But I have that flexibility to just really be present with my clients, because it's very specialized in what I do. So Coach Mariah, because really that's what y'all came here for. Y'all didn't come here for me. And remember, I'm just that person that's walking by in the park, when you sitting on the park bench and you sat down and you took a little break. I'm just that person just walking by, and you like, who was that lady with the blonde hair? Because y'all are not here for me. I'm just here to bring Coach Mariah on. So let's hear about her real quick. Coach Mariah Ambercomby is a single mother of a daughter who gives her all of her strength, right? So her daughter has become her reason and purpose to life, and I think most parents can truly agree with that. She has a degree in human service management and leadership, and also she is about to complete her master's degree, which is so awesome. Shout out to her. Her mission is to help women manage what life throws at them by overcoming challenges in areas of mind, money, and making memories. 3 M's, right? You need to write that down. Mind, money, and making memories. Where are you even right now in your mind, money, and memory? Right? Are you in good memory, or are you still kind of living in some of that past trauma? Her childhood and adulthood experiences really have shaped her. And she also has a product line that's called Revising, which is the first time I've heard that. Do y'all hear me? I be hearing stuff. This is why I'm doing this now, because do I really know my coaches? Apparently I don't. Okay. She'll explain that when she get on here. So she has a product line that is called Revising, and it's a luxury home essential product line giving you the ultimate relaxation and realization of experience. And I really love that, because it still ties into who she is as a coach. You can find her every Tuesday for her segment that's called Tipsy Tuesday, where she talks about personal development tips and tools with a delightful cocktail. I love it because she comes and she introduces a new cocktail. And it's really when I found out about the new Mary wine. Like, I didn't know Mary J. Blige had a wine until I watched Tipsy Tuesday. So if you're a person that wants to, like experience new types of drinks that are new, Tipsy Tuesday is something that you should want to follow on Tuesday. Her vision is to help out single mothers. So those of you who are on here or who may be catching a replay, this may connect to your heart. So her vision is to help out single mothers aligned with necessary tools to excel in life. It just seems like that was the beginning of a mission I wasn't prepared for. Out of all the trauma I experienced in my childhood, this is one experience that has helped shape me towards being the person I am today. I'm at the point where everything is a part of life versus dwelling over the past. The reason why I want to help single moms is that I understand the feeling of being alone, right? I understand the shame of being a single mother, carrying the guilt, the blame, the commitment, the sacrifice, the journey of overcoming fear and obstacles and lack of information and resources. Man, that is powerful, because not only can a single mother relate to that, but shit, a person who don't have kids like myself can relate to that. So we are getting ready to bring Coach Mariah on because her topic today is really about the high standard dilemma. High standards dilemma. And I can't wait to hear all that she's going to be blessing us with. But we're going to do a little Q&A, and then we'll let her go. So let's bring them out. Hey, Coach Mariah.
Hey, how you doing, Coach? Master Coach LaKendra.
You know what? I am making it because I don't have on any glasses today. But as long as I can see close up, I'm just like, I'm doing just fine.
Yes, you look good without them and with them. I love your
Thank
passion.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, Coach Mariah, high standard dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that so important right now? Why do you feel that this is something that we need to talk about in a professional setting?
I believe that we all have a standard, but I believe that we need to challenge ourselves and push ourselves higher in order to reach that level of success that we desire. So we're not doing this mediocre, or we're not going to be confined or complacent in this type of box, or this type of, like this dilemma or things like that, to where you're going to be stagnant. Like, you can't grow if you're just placing yourself in a box. So high standards really, for me, just definitely says that you have a next level you need to complete. Like, you're not finished on level one, and I go into detail, talk about the Mario game, because I remember playing video games growing up, and each level or each stage, when we're trying to beat the next level to get to the princess, they're constantly raising our standards to get to that level. So I feel like, having higher standards in life get you to where you want to be.
I like that. I like that. Those of you who are jumping in, unfortunately, those of you over on YouTube, we can't see you, but those of you who are in here from Facebook, go ahead and tag a friend or two and share this podcast, if you don't mind. We are here with Coach Mariah, and we're going to be really diving deeper as we talk about those high standards. I'm thinking in my mind, because things are connecting now, Coach Mariah, of when I was younger. And, when we're younger, we are instilled with everything that we need. We're instilled with the culture, a family of our culture. We're instilled with our values and all of those things. Growing up, because reading your bio, which was a really great bio. Growing up, were your standards expressed in the household, or were you instilled to have like a high value or a high standard for yourself?
I honestly, I believe I created that high standard of myself. It wasn't really installed. It was like, I'm be talking about it. Pretty much, I grew up like, on the system. right? So most mind people, families with the mind that grew up on the system, their mindset is to be on the system and learn how to work the system, right? But my thought process and my mindset was, no, I can't live like this. I have to increase my value. I have to increase my value, my abilities, my skill set to rise above where I'm at right now, because I want to break this generation of curse. I don't want my kids to endure what I went through. I don't want my nieces and nephews to continue to live like this based off of their mom. I want to be their role model to set to where my standards are always increasing.
That's so good, because when you hear about the high standard dilemma, man, that's a good topic, because a lot of people have high standards, but the dilemma that they're facing is a lot of things. Maybe they wasn't raised in that culture, they wasn't raised in that environment, and then now they have a lot of fear, and they have a lot of those limiting beliefs that keep them from being successful and having a sense of success all the time. Share just a little bit, because I love for my coaches to always share a little bit of their background, from where they have come from, where you wasn't always looking so beautiful, right? You didn't always have your head on straight, Coach Mariah.
Right.
people think we just wake up like this, with this
Mhm.
level of confidence, and this level of esteem, and the resources that we have. But just tell us a little bit about your background, where you wasn't as successful, and what was the turn for you to say, I have to get a hold of my life and make something of my life.
Mhm. Okay. So let's get to like the college stage. I'm living life. I'm having fun, thinking I'm having fun, but I really didn't have no responsibility like that to really even really, I guess, care, because my mindset was it was just downplayed to me, right? So when I became a mother, um I was still wanting to party and kick it, and my sister would be like, I'll watch your kid and things like that. But it came a time where I realized that I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was paying, I was, borrowing money, $20 of gas, knowing I just spent $100 in the club, but I need to get $20 for gas to make sure me and my daughter I get to work and she gets to daycare. It was just little things, like my mindset wasn't right. I was in a bad relationship where, it was just like I was being belittled. I didn't believe in my self-worth. Um, and then also where, like I had to grow from it all. So I knew I didn't finish college. So that was one of my goals. I got to finish college. I just felt incomplete when you don't complete something that you really got your heart desire for. So, I mean, I used the housing or the system to even just sit there and realize, hey, this is a system to help you. So I was on housing and I put myself through college. I finished college, and I'm still working this low budget job. But once I finished graduating, I was able to apply and work for a Fortune 500 company. But that, to me, that still wasn't enough. I still didn't feel complete. I still felt like my work is not done. This is really not what I wanted to do. So I ended up creating self-care, the revising bath and body products. And it was only because I started getting in tune with myself. The bathroom was my safe haven. The bathroom was my domain or my dungeon where I journaled. My bath was the best bath ever. Like I was so relaxed. I was able to think. I was able to gain clarity. I was able to really start setting goals for myself and being able to get out of that situation that I was already in. So then I started really caring about myself more. I was able to start looking back in the mirror because I felt like I lost myself. I feel like, I wasn't worth it anymore. I lost friends, I lost family, based off of this decisions and the routes that I took, or me being associated with certain people. Some people didn't want to hang out with you no more. So it just really took like a turn of growth and personal development. And that's why I'm so passionate about, developing yourself, developing myself to be successful, my own success story. And that's where I'm at with that. Did I answer your question?
It was good enough, child. Over here, it's not a right or wrong. I asked you a question and how your heart wanted to share because, we have people tuning in. I just think that spiritually everything is divine. So things that we supposed to say is what we say that comes out of our mouth. So I really appreciate you saying that because that was still a lot. There was a lot of vulnerability to even share because we're talking about high standard dilemmas. Those of you who are coming on and Coach Mariah is going to actually, have a segment where she's just kind of along with you guys to talk about if you are experiencing high standard dilemmas and how for it not to become a dilemma anymore. Mm-hmm. Because, me just really thinking back on even my upbringing and how I grew up in a household where failure wasn't an option. So we had high standards, but then I grew up in a community that didn't really have that consistent value, right? And so I really had a lot of different roles that I could take. I had friends as well who, wasn't as successful and chose something different. So I had, really great friends that were doing really good in school. I had friends who wasn't doing really great in school. And then I'm in a household that offers only but high expectations. And the dilemma that I think I was just having is because, I grew up with a learning disability and I had all of these things that just interpersonally against me. And I heard you say that, you grew up in the system. So a lot of people don't know what that is. So you can just interpret it however you want to interpret it, just read it between the lines when she was talking. But for people who haven't grown up in the system, they've grown up in an environment where expectations were set high. But then they grew up in a society or a community where the expectations weren't really, really high. We have a lot of different people who listen to our talks. What do you say to a person before I let you go? What would you say to a person that may had a pretty decent household as far as expectations go, but when they leave that household, they're up against, their community, they're up against, all of these different factors that challenge how success should be, the standards that they may want to have in life or whatever, just the challenges that you face outside of a household, because you have a daughter. So I'm sure you can really talk about this because I'm sure it's kind of relatable. So what would you say to a person who's in a household and the parents are doing all they can to stress success, right? Mm-hmm. But then when they leave a household, because they may not be in the greatest neighborhood, they may not be in a community that's really serving them, how do they keep the dilemma from happening? Should I cut you loose now? Because you're going to talk about that, huh? Is this the time I need to cut you loose?
Yeah, because I think I'm going to touch bases on it.
Okay. So those of you who are jumping in, make sure you say hi. Don't be on here silently tuning in. I'm getting ready to release Mariah because she's going to address that, because a lot of us experience that even as adults. We internally, we have the inspiration and aspiration to be so great. But when we go outside, and I'm metaphorically speaking, y'all, when you go outside, when you leave your safe haven of being at home where you dream, where you feel safe, and then you go outside where all of the challenges are, And that's where your dilemma happens, because so many other things take place. This is where you want to listen, because Coach Mariah is going to talk about not allowing your standards to become a dilemma, not allowing your standards to get in a way of the goals that you want to crush, not allowing those standards to sit on the wayside, but you just becoming it every single day, just like she have triumphed in her life and have become. So I'm going to leave it up to you, Coach Mariah. I know you're going to do great, and I'll be back to check on you.
Okay, thank you. All right, y'all. How y'all doing tonight? This lovely afternoon, this happy hour session. I'm Coach Mariah, or you can call me Coach Mo, and I'm your purpose driven coach. And what that means is I help single moms reestablish, reconnect, and reflect on their success path by helping them gain that clarity, that confidence, and that currency to live the lifestyle that you desire. Okay. So, like I explained before, I really, truly am a personal development advocate as well, right? I love to learn from my mistakes and just being my best self. Definitely when I show up, right? So, everyone does have a past. And when you come into the realization, you soon understand that you need to gain some like balance. You need to gain balance in order to reach your goals, right? So I've set that bar high for myself. Even if others don't believe in me, I'm believing in myself. And I know that I have, youth looking up to me. And that could be my daughter, that's my nieces, my nephews, my cousins. And, definitely I just want to be my best self, right? And I know that in order to be successful, you have to climb the ladder. You have to set that goal and put the work in. All right. So like I was saying, I wanted to be different. I wanted to be different than what I grew up around, what I saw, what I heard. And there's no lie when it says there has been dilemmas, right? And I'm gonna get into the context of what a high standard and a dilemma means, right? So now, I grew up on like government assistance where, there was food stamps, Medicaid, Section 8, um, just that's where I was at, right? So that type of government assistance. And when you get on assistance, you get trapped because there's so many restrictions where it's really impossible to grow. And then most people get complacent. Now, I'm not saying the system don't work. All I'm saying is use it to your advantage. And while you using it to your advantage, be able to accomplish some things while you're on it. And that's exactly what I did. I was able to graduate with my bachelor's degree, and I was able to get a Fortune 500 job, well, work for a Fortune 500 company. And then I created that, I wasn't satisfied for one, but I was on that all about me type journey then because I got a little leeway. I got a little, I was able to breathe a little bit, right? Um, and I set the standards for every aspect of my life. That's my love life, my business, my career, my relationships, my health, anything you can really think of. I really pretty much set a standard. I set a standard for this dog I got. I'm not lying. But, everything that I want, I'm going to accomplish, right? So I look at it like this, back in the day when the Nintendo was the hottest thing out there, or the Sega Genesis. That's how old I am, I guess. Atari. I'm back there. But anyway, remember how Mario and Luigi, in order for you to go to the next stage or the next level, you had to complete a series of stages. And I feel like in order to reach that standard of success, you have to go through you got to go through stages and levels, right? How are you going to be able to rescue that princess? How are you going to be able to tackle that dragon or that beast? Pretty much, how are you going to be able to rescue yourself to reach that level of success? Right? So that's pretty much my thought, my imagery, my the way I thought about setting my high standards. So let me go a little deeper for y'all. Tony Robbins said, set high standards for yourself and don't settle for nothing else. You are the judge of yourself and your capabilities. What does that mean to you? Because to me, that pretty much tells me the sky is the limit. And the sky is so high, how are you going to get there? For me, I'm going to die trying. I'm going to constantly and always push myself until my last breath. And that's my mindset. And my mind, it grew on me, y'all. This just didn't happen overnight to even start thinking like this. But once it clicked, it clicked. So now is the time, y'all get y'all pens and y'all papers ready. Get your drink, because we about to dive a little deeper. All right, so what are high standards dilemmas? Now, let's break down this combination. What is high? High is like extending upward. So we're excelling up. We're going up, right? What are standards? Standards are a level of achievements, right? It's a level of quality. And what are dilemmas? Dilemmas are situations which you have to make a choice. This is also, so dilemmas are situations which you have to make a choice. And so this is also how I like to think about this. So your high standards is like the soil and the seed, right? Although, we need water and things like that, we need to nourish it and, put in work in order to see it grow. And then we get a stem. And sometimes when we get those stems, they break. They can get flooded. It's so many things that, we can do or we can see when we have a stem, right? It's so many situations that we can't control when the stem is starting to sprout out, right? And ultimately, regardless if it's good or bad and challenging, if we sink or we swim, it's all a part of our process of success. Okay. So I know I'm just giving y'all something to think about because I'm not finished. So here are some questions for you all to think about. Hi, Coach Phoebe. Do you believe there's a thin line between compromising and settling? Write it down. Let me know when we get to Q&A. Do you believe that high standards keep you from low quality experiences? Now, I hope everybody journals at least, I'm going to say bare minimum, 2 to 3 times a week. So I know you're busy and I know you don't have 15 minutes to spare, but thinking about this when, the next time you miss journaling. When you journal, does your pages say, I did nothing? Or do you want it to have an interesting timeline that explains how productive you were today? Because if you ask me, I can accomplish that that scenario of making sure that I at least get my journaling done at least 2 to 3 times a week. Yes, journaling keeps your head in check. Yes, Coach Tamasha, definitely, right? Think about that when you're journaling, or think about that on a daily. All right. So also, can you recall something that's not up to your standards? That could be in your relationship, your friendship, your work environment, your business, your career, yourself. All right. And number 5, what does high standards mean to you? Okay. Now, let's go a little deeper. High standards are based off of the Webster dictionary, y'all. High standards are holding someone to a high standards means expecting a level of behavior or realization that is above the norm, right? So when we're in reflection and you want to be above, normal, it requires work. Holding yourself to a higher standard also means not settling for average or mediocre, but striving for excellence in one or more areas of life. Okay, whether that's your morality, your integrity, or whatever else you value. We're not settling in those areas. All right, so let's get to the dilemma part. So now, when I'm doing my research, y'all, there's so many types of dilemmas. But based off our topic today of the high standard dilemma, I felt that it was important that I touch bases on the self-imposed dilemma versus the world-imposed dilemma. Okay? Just to break it down for y'all. So self-imposed dilemmas are agents that constantly are doing like wrong. And when you're in a situation, it causes you to make poor decisions, mistakes, or misconduct. All right. So for an example, if a person is running for office and she said she was going to donate her land to build houses on to support the community, and everybody voted for her, right? And she won office. But then she later decided that, no, I'm not going to build this. I'm not going to build houses for the community. I'm just going to, I'm just going to keep the land and pass it down for, my family's sake. Is that wrong? Do you think that's wrong because she said she was going to do one thing and then turned around and flipped the switch like, no, I'm not doing that, just to get the votes, right? So that is the self-imposed dilemma. So when you start doing that to yourself, you gotta, there's something that you need to be checking, right? So the world-imposed dilemmas are often certain events in the world that places the agent in a conflict or situation where we can't control or we can't avoid these conflicts. For an example, a manager, being a manager. So if you've ever been a manager, taking leadership positions, sometimes you have to make those difficult decisions, right? And it's really nothing you can do about it. For an example, being a manager, you got to choose out of two people, two of your top employers, and one of them gets a job promotion and the other one gets terminated. That is an example of world imposed dilemmas because you have no option. You have, you don't really have those choices on this type of conflict or this type of situation, right? So um, you have to do what's best for you in that sense. Okay. So just to give you a little, you know, insight on digging deeper into what really, dilemmas and how, the branches of, there's so many type of dilemmas, but this one to me felt like it was more important for our topic today. So high standard dilemmas are like being in between a rock and a hard place. You just have to make the decision that would be in your best interest. It's all about you. Now, I know you're wondering, well, what does it take to maintain my high standards? What do I need to do to avoid these dilemmas? What does it require? And I'm so glad you guys asked. I'm so glad you are here. And if you didn't know, I'm all about personal development, right? And one of the biggest things that I love and I always talk about it is setting goals. Setting goals, right? So a lot of people that I talk to, or and it's always I'm like, okay, what's your goals? I want to make $1 million. I want to do this. I want to, I want a big house. I want this and I want that. And I'm just like, cool, that's cool. You can have that, But what else do you want? To me, generational wealth is the key, right? But generational wealth isn't just always about money. Looking into my lenses, I feel like just passing down, and where I can understand, just passing down love, peace, skills, the hustle, the beliefs, which the rituals, is so much more you can pass down. Because like I said, my point is not to limit yourself, because the sky is limitless, right? We gonna get to the sky. Thank you. So what point of setting goals, what's the point of setting goals? The point of setting goals is so that you can gain that clarity on what exactly is it that you want. What exactly is it that y'all want? Write it down. What do you want? Sometimes we don't ask ourselves that enough. What do you want? I want the house, the car, the money, and all this other good stuff. But ultimately, it's the skill set for me. I was told, growing up, your mind is a terrible thing to waste. But it don't click until your mind really is out here wasting, and you be like, dang, I'm wasting time, I'm wasting energy, I'm wasting, money, I'm wasting everything. Why? If I just utilize my skill set and put my mind to it, I could be so much, so much better. All right, so number one, it's going to be setting goals. Set your goals. All right, so now let's get into this limiting beliefs, right? So, what are limiting beliefs? Limiting beliefs are thoughts, convictions, opinions that we believe to be the absolute truth. And when we start believing that stuff, it holds us back in some shape, way, or form. Right? So as a result, that prevents us from growing, achieving our goals, taking risks, or even, taking on new opportunities, or becoming the people that we want to be. Right? So these beliefs can be about you, it can be about the world, or it can be about in life. It can be about life in general. We're trapped in the same box our minds have unconsciously built. I don't know what's going on my essence today, but we're trapped in the mind we have unconsciously built. And here are some examples of limiting beliefs. Now, when you hear this, if you told yourself this and you believe it, you need a coach. Seriously. But you're here today, so therefore you can catch some of these nuggets. Okay. All right. So if you ever told yourself or you heard somebody tell themselves this, we need to talk. I am not worthy of being loved. I am not smart, pretty, or talented enough. I could never open my own business. I don't have enough time, experience, resources to pursue my passion. I should avoid failure at all costs. I'm too old to go back to school. No one wants me because I'm a single mother and I'm divorced. Um, I'm like the bag lady. I got too much stuff going on. It's too late to adopt a healthier lifestyle. And last but not least, all romantic relationships end in heartbreak. Now, believe it or not, I said these things because there was a point in time I didn't believe in myself. Oh my God, coach. There's a point in time I didn't believe in myself. All right. So where do they come from? They can stem from when you was raised as a little kid, your family, your friends, your life experiences, and things that you just constantly negatively, that end in negatively thoughts. And you definitely like continue in order for like to stay, like you drawn out this image in your mind. And you start believing it. All right. In some ways you can overcome this is you, one, choose a topic you want to address, whether that's your love life, your career, your family, or your hobbies. Number two, you write down what excuses you use to stop from accomplishing them goals. Now, we do not tell no story where you didn't use no excuses to why you didn't do something. Right? Identify the reason for protecting your limited beliefs. And that could be because your fear and your struggle, you're scared, of struggle or failing. Ask yourself this question. Is it worth it? Is it worth to continuously doubt yourself? Find the alternative. Remember that limiting beliefs are thoughts or stories you tell yourself, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's true. Once you reflect on your limited beliefs, instead of thinking it's too late to live a healthier lifestyle, start believing you are living that healthier lifestyle. Now, before I go and before we get to Q&A, let's flip these limited beliefs into new beliefs and start making them, well, start turning them into positive affirmations. So if you wrote them down, number one was I'm not worthy. Worthy. Turn it into I am worthy of being loved. I am smart, pretty, and talented enough. I will open up my business. I have enough time, experience, resources to pursue my passion. I will embrace all failures at all costs. I'm old enough to go back to school. Someone will date me because I am a single mom or I am divorced. I will begin living a healthier lifestyle. And all romantic relationships end in long-lasting commitment. Now I'm winding down and excuse me. And I wanted to talk about, our mental health. And I know it's almost that time, but y'all, mental health is so important. And I'm a mental health coach as well. And mental health pretty much is the overall part of your general health. It's just the same as your dental health or your heart health. And depression is the highest mental health issue. And if you don't get it taken care of, it can definitely lead to long lasting physical illnesses such as diabetes, heart attacks, and strokes. All right. The CDC said that 17% of U.S. adults are considered to be in a state of optimal mental health. That means that they're okay. Only 17% of the people in the U.S. is okay, and 83 of us adults are out here struggling. We have a lot to work to do, coaches. All right. So I like to use this method. I got a few minutes winding down, y'all. I like to use this method called the DAYS method, and this really helps me with a lot. And the DAYS is spelled DASE, and the D is for decluttering. Declutter your mind, declutter your home, declutter your business, declutter everything. Because we want to get that clarity. Start affirming what it is that you want. Start doing your daily affirmations. Okay. Establish those boundaries. Make solid boundaries. No, you're not here and you can't please everybody, but make what works for you. Start setting those boundaries where you take care of yourself the first 2 hours of waking up. No social media, no calls, none of that. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped setting standards. Set your standards. You know you can achieve whatever it is that you desire. Set that bar high because success is at the top. Okay. Now, I just want to say thank you, and I for this successful power hour, y'all. Life is designed to be tough, hard work, and success goes hand in hand no matter what. Okay, so make sure you use these tools and apply them to your daily life, your daily routine. So thank you, Master Coach, and
I
thank
mean,
you
that
for
was
tuning in.
fantastic. That was fantastic. I don't know what y'all be nervous about. I just don't know. Like, if y'all really enjoyed Coach Mariah, send us some hearts in the chat so we can see it. You know, when y'all be pressing little hearts like that, we don't see that. We don't see that on this side. So send us some love and send us some hearts. Go ahead and ask your questions. I see that some of them are already coming in. Coach Mariah, like that was a really, really good talk, just like Irene said. Um, it really resonated with me. And y'all know that, my favorite cards are these cards that I read every day by Gay Hendricks. And I was turned on by Gay Hendricks from Susie Batiste, which is my spiritual mentor. And as you were reading, I pulled a card, right? And let me say what the card says. It says, if you love as much as you can from wherever you are, your essence path will open up before you effortlessly. Blah, 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 blah. I can't talk y'all today. Like when I tell y'all I'm in so much pain right now, but I'm journeying through. So let me read it again. If you love as much as you can from wherever you are, your essence path will open up before you effortlessly. And it resonated because basically, because we're talking about high standard dilemma. And sometimes, coach, and even you educating, right? Even you educating us, we're still stuck in a dilemma of believing that it's all possible. And I love that you say, hey, you may need a coach. That made it tickled me to death when I was backstage. You may need a coach, but some people don't know that they need a coach. So if you're on here, and even though she gave us the nuggets, right? And you're still stuck in I don't know, like all of the doubt, like all of the pain of being rejected, or you feeling like, I don't know, my weight, I got to lose some weight, or, I got bad skin, I can't do this. I want to do more lives, but I'm having, some acne problems, or, what is my weight going to translate, or what people are going to think about me, or I need to get my grill fixed, or I may sound like an idiot, or, all the stuff that we think from keeping us from being great in this card. But it's really just centered in love. The more you love yourself, the more the world will open up for you. Mm-hmm. Because then you will start loving yourself more, which means you will start speaking more kindly to yourself versus negatively to yourself. And the more kindly you speak to yourself, the more the universe then hears the love that you have for yourself, and it'll meet you where you are. But when we speak so negative to ourselves all the time, when we really just keep playing that nightmare, because y'all know this is Halloween weekend, right? And I am going to go see Halloween tonight, okay? So we keep playing Michael Myers, peeping around the corner, that nightmare in our head, then also the universe will meet us there too with our ugly. So good job with that. Let's get some questions. Coach Adam, Coach Adam gonna bring it to you every time. If he gonna hear, he gonna always bring it to you.
Can I say something before I answer the questions, Master Coach? I really like this institute, y'all. Like, if you're interested in becoming a coach, this institute is so awesome. This tribe is awesome, y'all. I really appreciate you, Master Coach, for, always increasing my steps towards success. It really makes a difference when you believe, and when I believe in myself, but when others like you believe in me and you continuously increase my level of success, it just makes it so much more worth doing, is more worth like living and things like that. So I appreciate that. I just want to
I appreciate that too. I thank you so much, because there's no perfection, y'all. Like they all know. I mean, if I had to rate my pain level right now, it's a 13. But I teach that we show up no matter what. And what I'm giving y'all right now is as perfect as I can be for you, right? What Coach Mariah is giving you right now is as perfect as she can be for us. And sometimes we judge people so hard because we have this idea of who we want to be, and we're not ever going to be it. And that is the high standard dilemma that she's really talking about. It's really just being your greatest sense of self, whoever that is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, this ain't my segment. Answer this question, girl. What is the difference between high standards and perfection?
Well, high standards. Thank you, Coach Adam, for asking that question. High standards is just pretty much setting your goal, leveling up, right? Perfection is you trying to get it right. Like, I feel like perfection is just you. First of all, perfection is pressure for me. Um, Nobody is really perfect, but people strive for perfection. Like, as long as you reach the goal, as far as, like, for an example, get the paper done versus making sure that all T's are crossed, commas, dots, and things like that, is dealing with perfection. So I think those, like, eh, high standards are levels, perfections are probably just in
It's like an
between.
illusion. Perfection is
Yeah,
like an illusion of an idea that you have never met, right? It's like I want to see it like this. I want it to happen just like this because it's a lot of different programming of things that you have seen that you have now created this idea in your head, but you've never even met that standard before ever in your entire life. So we
mhm,
live for this sense of perfection because it's really an illusion of an idea that we have. It's
yeah,
impossible.
yeah,
Okay. It's just impossible. The standard is something that we can aspire, right? It's like, okay, I can set this and then I can go and see what, like she said, she gave you how to reach the standard. You have to set goals, right? You have to deal with your limited beliefs. So it's something that I can work towards, right?
right,
It's like she said, it's like you master this level first. Then if you can master this level, then you can go to the next level. But if you cannot, then you stay there until it's mastered.
right. Because standards are achieving those goals or those levels. It's achievable. You can't
Yeah.
necessarily achieve perfection because perfection is in your eyes and not in everybody else's eyes. So
Yeah.
it's up to you on what perfection looks like.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really think perfection is everybody else's eyes and not our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Okay. So hopefully we together answered your question, Adam. Okay,
yeah.
so Regina said, does she have this right? Do I have it correct? The clutter, affirmation, standards,
Expectations.
expectations. Hello, my beautiful queen, Regina. Oh my gosh, I miss you. Regina is one of my sister friends from a different professional platform, and we met each other. We served in this platform, and we met each other, and we just fell in love with one another. So good to see you, girl.
Hi,
Um,
Regina.
let's see here. What are some signs that you are not loving yourself enough and that you need a coach? So, what are some signs?
Um, the shame, like those limited beliefs, you always doubting yourself. You don't believe in yourself, or you're listening to other people, um, listening to other people's opinions, or you don't have the goal or the drive to even accomplish what you want in life. You're not satisfied. I feel like you need to get a coach when it's starting to alter your lifestyle,
Mhm.
when it starts to pour into your work environment, or you not being able to function properly or live your day-to-day life for your and do what's best for you. You need a coach because we need to figure it out. What are you missing? We need to put that puzzle together, because if you're not believing in yourself and you're having these doubts and things like that, you're not going to be able to accomplish what it is that you want. Then you're going to fall into a depression. Then you're going to be really stuck in things like that. So I feel like a coach is necessary when you don't have that direction, or if you don't have the mindset to go to the next step.
Mhm. Yeah, good, good. There's another question that says, what do you say to a friend or loved one that is constantly drowning themselves with their limited beliefs?
I would try to reinforce them, motivate them, and um, see if they're willing to reframe those limited beliefs and turn them into positive beliefs. So like we were talking about, I'm not worthy. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, if I go there, traffic is gonna be bad. You got to start thinking positive. If you don't start thinking positive, it's not gonna work out. I mean, just being realistic. Like, it's plenty of times I'm like, "Ooh, I don't want to park all the way around the corner when I'm coming home." But if I start thinking, oh, I know I'm gonna get a parking spot right up here, right by my door, and it's been happening. So I'm like, okay, cool. If you go to a job interview thinking that you're not gonna get that job, you're not gonna get the job. You need to, even if you don't get the job, you need to be thinking highly of yourself, like you deserve this job. You need to just be in tune with yourself. Start loving yourself more. And I think that's where the limited beliefs do come from, when you're not loving yourself anymore. So it's time for you to start taking care of yourself. It's time for you to pamper yourself. Do something that makes you happy, whether that's going to get your hair done, get your nails done, buying you something, just being radical. You can do whatever it is that you think that can make you feel good, and it's the little things that count, right? Paying the bill or something like that. You don't have to worry about that. Having some extra time for yourself, reading, just being still, getting in tune with yourself.
Just being still, that's good. And as life coaches, we ask impactful questions to really help someone to level up in their awareness. And I just tell people all the time, the question that you need to ask is, am I willing to feel good about who I am all the time? Right? So when I ask myself that, my brain shuts down because it doesn't know how to answer it. But what activates is my heart, because our heart wants to live. It wants to beat for you. It wants you to like wake up in life, in joy, in prosperity and abundance. And when you wake up already defeating yourself, the mind is already defeating yourself. What you have to do is you have to internalize your own voice. And that's what powerful questions, and that's just what we do as life coaches. We ask powerful questions. And you have to ask yourself, like, am I willing to be happy today? Am I willing to like combat, this, this pain, this shame, this just funky ass attitude is really what we just be having at the end of the day. Are we willing to just adult? Like, come on. Especially those of us who have kids and we're always pushing our kids, or those of us who have supervisory or manager positions, and we're pushing in employees and we're always like telling people what to do. Like, adult for yourself. You got to adult for yourself. So, Coach Mariah, tell us about Self-Made. I when I saw that, I'm like, okay, tell us about this.
Okay, so I'm telling y'all, this Global Institute like really like lit some matches, lit some coals, lit some fire under my tail. Okay, so Self-Made Academy will be launching this spring, and it's a coaching program for those that want to make. Okay, so self-made, and made means making a difference every day. All right, so it's really important that we make a difference every day, not only for ourselves. Like, we need to show up for ourselves, our others, and others, and build, those habits, new healthy habits. Understand really who we are, what triggers us, what ticks us off, what makes us happy, and things like that. So really, Self-Made Academy is just definitely going to rebuild you, break you down, and rebuild you all over again in your personal development journey.
Okay, let me get it right, because that's okay. It's an acronym.
It's right. MADE. That was right.
Oh, it was right. It was right. Okay. M A
Made.
D E. MADE. I
Made.
got it right the first time, huh?
Yes.
Okay. But it's Academy, Self-Made Academy.
Yes.
So how for people who are watching and they're like, hey, that's something that I may want to get into, how do they follow you?
You can follow me at Mariah Abercrombie on all platforms, where that's Facebook, that's Instagram, and you can definitely look me up at mariahabercrombie.com. And definitely sign up for the email list. You'll be getting the first um shout out, or first, opening will go through my email subscribers. And if you would like to, you can also book a clarity call with me. It's a free 30-minute clarity call, and we'll get you squared away as far as private coaching on that aspects. But make sure you definitely sign up for that email list.
Yes. So everybody, write down Coach Mariah's website. Um, Bug the hell out of her, because
Yes.
let me tell you something. She said this is going to launch in the spring, and y'all need to be tapping in her inbox saying, "Hey, Coach Mariah, how are you doing on that launch?" Because it's something about accountability. When we all come together, the accountability gives us the responsibility in life. That's the reason why I'm so transparent, y'all. Like, even if feeling crappy, like my mind is going 1,000 miles per hour because I'm in so much pain. But this, me saying that I'm going to come on every Friday for Success Power Hour, regardless of if it's storming outside or storming inside, inside of me, it gives me the responsibility of not only my life, taking control of my life to get past my high success dilemmas, but this is how you do it. This is how you do it, guys. You cannot be out here in the trenches by yourself. You need to find you accountability partners. You need to find you a community. You need to find you a tribe. And if you are looking for one, we welcome you here. Like, we just some legit laid back people, you know. So visit us at the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneurs. One of the coaches that are on here, you can put the website in the feed, but www.globalcoachentrepreneur.org, and learn about um, the radical change of becoming a certified life coach. It doesn't really have a whole lot about, like, oh, but, I'm a dentist, or I'm a doctor, or I'm a teacher, or it doesn't really have anything to do with that. It has everything to do with about your next transformation of your own life. Are you willing to show up in what you love, like in your true essence, and not the essence that has been built out for you? Most of us truly live in a freaking programming every day. And the reason why I can say that is because life is too ordinary, where everybody looked the same, everybody marriage looked the same, everybody, success is looking the same. Like, there's a very low percentage of people where it looks so different that it scares the living daylights out of us. And we talk about them, like the Will and Jada Smith marriage and how they raise their children. They're like the low 1%, or Elon, whatever his name is, that made the Tesla, how he built that success, and how people step outside of the comfort zone and really operate in their true essence is what Coach Mariah is really trying to help you to get to. And yeah, we use a system so we can feel ordinary, so we can feel normal, and so we can feel accepted. But at some point in your life, damn, like, you have to just want to be free. Do you understand what I'm saying? You just have to want to be free and find your own flow and find a tribe that supports you. And that's who we are here. We are a radical tribe of certified life coaches, and we just support whatever the hell our coaches want to do without judgment.
No
So
judgment.
I'm so excited about your upcoming um academy, and I know that it's going to be beautiful and great. So thank you all for joining in for Success Power Hour. Meet us on next week. It'll be a surprise. We'll let y'all know by Monday who will be our next Power Hour coach and Make sure you subscribe to our Facebook page so you can get the alerts. And that's at Jice Loves, Gice Loves. Make sure you subscribe. So that way, when we come on, you'll know, you'll get those alerts. Make sure you bring your friends here. Like, like I said, we pretty dope. Like we just some pretty dope people of all different walks of life. So you'll be hearing from all of our coaches from various parts of the world. And we appreciate you. Go into the weekend asking for an expansion of love. Like, truly, if you love as much as you can from wherever you are, your essence path will open up before you effortlessly. It'll just open up. It'll expand your capacity and go into the weekend with joy and happiness. Thank you so much, Village. Thank you, Adam, and everybody else that has tuned in. And we'll see you on next Friday. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.